Hopefully not. Hopefully not. It's because I got that open. Okay. I'll leave it up. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let me get the beat going. Ooh, actually, that could be fire. Hold on. I never even thought of something like that. Oh, no, I probably can't, though. Give me 1 second, Chad. Let me get this off my... Saved. Okay. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Make sure I got everything off here. I think I'm just going to leave it. All right. Cool, man. We're live. Let me get the beat going. I didn't do that. Now we're good. Page is open. We'll leave it for now. May have to later. Got too much stuff going on. Chat, we live, man. Hey, look. So this is okay. Let me get this going. This is kind of random. But time-wise today, I wasn't gonna be able to do a video. So I'm like, all right, bet, let's go live. It's gonna be like a video form, live, sort of. It's usually never how it goes. But there's a lot of things to talk about. So let's go live. Let's go live. I got a whole bunch of stuff to get to. I don't know if we'll get to it. The video's a little far. Okay, give it a second. I think it's like it's coming more clean here as this. That sounds so weird. As it goes on, it's like dialing in. That's why I was okay. I think it's dialing in. But I got a lot of things that we can look at today. I got some articles that I found too that we can react to. Just depends on how fast we get through certain things or how many questions, just that kind of thing. Because I do have kind of like a time limit here today, unfortunately. But with that, we're going to get to the main things. We're going to make it happen. First thing I got to show y'all. It was on it. Whoa. I don't know what that number means. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what that number means. Is that your phone number? Okay. I don't know if y'all see it. I put this on X. The Rake Straw jerseys here, chat. Look, hey, look, man. I was going to save it. I was like, yo, I'm going to wear this when I do the Rake Straw video. I can't, man. It's already here. I'm fired up. I'm too fired up. I'm like, all right, we're gonna. Hey, what up, brown coat? Hey, I'm just gonna show y'all. So look, this is fire. This is pretty fire, dude. I'm so pumped about this. And this is really perfect. This really is. It came out so good too. It came out so clean too. So I just had to show y'all that. Like I said, I was gonna save it when I did a Rake Straw video and then just wear it. But nah, it got here too soon, and I'm just too excited. I'm like, I'm gonna put it in the background so people are gonna see it anyway. So I just want to show that off. And it's actually perfect because, as Charles said, Terrion got signed, so all rookies are officially signed. So this is like crisp, right? So this is perfect. All right, they're all signed. Bam, we're good to go. First thing I put on my note. I mean, in the past, I would do videos when they would sign guys, but I don't really see it because they're going to get signed at some point. It's just when. But I think this is the perfect way to celebrate that. So let me put this back up there, and then we'll start to dive into what we got to dive into. Roll Pride. All our Bama dogs are going to ball out this season. Lombardi or bust. What up, Brent? All right, let me put this back up. Bam. Bam. All right. Now, look. Yeah. No, I'm fired up. I think it was supposed to get here at the end of the month. I was trying to track it. It was super confusing. Came in yesterday, though. Man, I'm going to have to figure out the background thing. But the yellow is nice because there's a lot of blue here. The yellow does mix it up a little bit. Shout out to the camera doing work right now. Okay. So the main thing that I have to dive into today is Ben Neiman. I think I'm saying that right. Just by looking at his name, I feel like I've heard it before, even though I don't think I have. Ben Neiman, the linebacker that we signed. You guys know if we did a video on Ben Neiman, that thing's 30+ minutes. All right. There's going to be tons of clips. It's going to take forever. I didn't do that, but I did save a ton of clips. So I'm going to show them on stream. I think we'll get through it faster. We don't have to go through all of them, just to kind of showcase the player specifically in coverage, because that's where he actually stands out. Now, if you look at his numbers, you would expect that Ben Neiman was like, oh, he's a sub package player. But if you go back to 2022, when he mainly played with Arizona, actually, he wasn't really used on a sub package situations with Arizona. It was just, I guess, that teams pass so darn much in the NFL now. So, okay, on the Titans, there you go. So these are going to be clips from 2022 We most recently saw him the most with Arizona. He actually had a really, really strong season that year. And because the linebacker room was Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons, and it was him. And, at times he would play both roles. You saw him play Mike, saw him play Will. So we're going to dive into some of those clips here. That's what the other thing we're talking about. We got to talk about Jake Bates, this Jake Bates situation. So it's official. Apparently the Lions met with Jake Bates, the kicker. I'm late. Did Arnold sign? So Arnold signed today. I think today. He signed. All right. Terry and Arnold signed. They're all signed. All rookies have been signed, Jeff. So we're good there. We're locked in. But yeah, so Jake Bates, I know and I bring this up because every time I do a show on Bleacher Report, this always comes into the chat whenever we talk about kicker. It's like, yo, get Jake Bates. And apparently the Lions reportedly had interest a couple months ago. They, I guess, met with him on Tuesday, but it wasn't like a formal workout. So they have met with Jake Bates. And I went through and just pulled his statistics from this past season. No clips there, but I pulled his stats. And my math could be wrong, but I went through each game individually to see, like, when did he miss? Was he inside? Was he outside? Those kind of things. Where was he making and missing from? Because for a while, and it's apparently there's several other teams that are trying to meet with Jake Bates too. It's not going to be just us. Several other teams. This guy was in like the MVP running. I don't know how legit it was. Like people doing articles. I wasn't really following the UFL like that. But for like the first step, like if you go to week 7, they had an article posted. I think Fox Sports did about how Jake Bates was a top 3 candidate for MVP. Now that kind of fell off at the end of the season. I didn't see him anymore. He had some misses that kind of popped up towards the end. Also had a couple misses against the Stallions in the playoff game. One of them was blocked. So I didn't really see him on his list anymore. I don't even know if they've announced the MVP. Probably not. The season's not over. Man, I don't know. Maybe they already have. I don't know. I don't think he's won it. But the point is that for a while he was in that conversation. And when you start to look at the numbers, it's like, oh, that actually kind of does make sense. So I just want to read these quick before we get into Ben Neiman, just to kind of give you guys a sense. So again, if this math isn't correct, I apologize. On this season, 17 of 22. That's the regular season. In the playoffs, he was 4 of 6. Now, only thing we really have about what the Lions kickers are doing is we know Michael Badgley. We can just look at what he's done in the past and then read the notes that we have that are new. So I'm just kind of going off what we know Badgley. And I like Badgley. Badgley's a good kicker. But then you also have, and he's shown some distance apparently this offseason so far. Then you also have James Turner, who statistically really didn't have long made field goals in college. Apparently he's had a few of those. And from just depending on who you're reading, it sounds like he's arguably had a better offseason so far than Michael Badgley, specifically in situational spots when he steps in to kick. What's up, the truth? So basically, he's replacing Trevor, the undrafted linebacker from Saginaw Valley, or Anthony Pittman. I'll say this. I don't think it's a great shot that he makes the team, but I will say I think there's going to be some flexibility with Malcolm Rodriguez. I could be wrong on this. I think the Lions may view Malcolm as like their fullback. That doesn't mean he can't play both ways. I think that's a value that he adds. The weird thing for me is I have questions about his special teams ability. We'll show some clips. I have questions about that. And that could make it difficult. That can make it very difficult. Now, the versatility you see really good coverage ability there, especially when you talk about just football intelligence. So it's not like a project. You're like, look at the athlete. He's not even the great athlete, but it's more so he looks really sound defensively. So it's kind of it's weird because Steele Chambers, I guess in terms of build, there's similarities there, but Steele Chambers was a rookie. So it's very different. Steele Chambers apparently has been picked up by the New England Patriots, who they waived in place of Ben Neiman now. So it's weird because you're not getting like the same style. Like you're dating a guy that's put it out there on film, relatively recently, like some good stuff. But it's not like you're going after a big time athlete there. So I'm just a little, I don't know. We'll dive into those clips. My man, Everything Kings in the building. How you doing, man? Is it just me or the NBA Finals incredibly sleepy this year? Yeah, it's trash. Now I'm not. Hey, if anybody likes teams, I apologize. I haven't even been watching game to game like that. Like I've been seeing it here and there. I enjoyed the build up to the conference finals more than the NBA Finals. I'm like checked out. All right, there's just a matchup alone. I was like, I don't have interest in this, so I don't know. Relax. Dion is live. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But let me go with the Jake Bates stats just to kind of get you guys in the know. Again, hopefully my math is right here. Could be wrong. So 17 of 22 in the regular season for Jake Bates. In the playoffs, 4 of 6. One was blocked from 44 yards. It was just one game against the Stallions. Like I said, he was in that MVP conversation. But just going through and taking notes, I should have added this up. Here's what I gathered. Could be 1 or 2 off, but here's what I gathered. So from 0 to 30 yards, 0 to 30, I just made up my own kind of criteria. 0 to 30 yards this past season with the Michigan Panthers. Jake Bates was 4 of 4. All right, good start there. Short kicks, he's knocking them through. Moving on to between 31 to 41 yards, Jake Bates was 4 of 5 this past season. That's not bad. Hey, efficient, right? That's what does that mean? 8 of 9 from 0 to 41 yards. I can rock with that. We want that to be a high percentage. I can rock with that. Now, I think it's important to keep in mind, I do believe every home game was played at Ford Field. I know at least some of them were. I think every home game for them was played in Ford Field. I'll talk about that more in a second. But we'll get to the away things here in a second as well. From 42 to 52, Bates was 8 of 11. He was 8 of 11 from what I could gather. Now, that's not bad. 8 of 11 is actually pretty good, just depending on kind of where you're getting there. Towards the end of the season, we started to see a couple of misses pop up. And then finally, 53 plus, 5 of 8. 5 of 8. He did have one miss that I guess essentially lost him a game. They lost by 1, and he missed it. Which kick was that? That was against the Stallions in the regular season. 53 yards, missed it. That ended the game. So 5 from 8, 50 plus, 53 plus. And if you go back to the beginning of the season, he was essentially just making everything. He was one of the leaders in points as well. Now, long 64. It's a long field goal, man. That is a long field goal. Now, if we do this, if we go through and we just look at how it kind of broke down, though. So if you look at his away games, specifically the games that are outdoors, not the games that were indoors, because going through his away games, like to begin the season, he was good from 64, good from 62, good from 62. A lot of these came before halftime. He was knocking them through before halftime. I'm actually going to put this comment up there. We see you. I'm going to put this comment up there. Good before halftime. But if you continue, and then let me go to, so the next one was away against the Brahmas. That's a fire name. Okay, the Showboats. We start here first. So this was an outside game. Missed from 58, missed from 62, good from 30. Now, I don't know if it was like a really windy day. Okay, I don't know if it was like something like that. Like I said, I haven't really watched through it. But I do think it's just something to kind of point out there that he started off extremely well to begin the season. First 3 games were at home. Didn't have a missed field goal. 64, 62, 52, 46, 55. All good. Then you had the Brahmas, which was an inside game, though it was on the road. He was good for 49. Then that first one outside, 2 misses, 1 good. Now, the positive here is this. Seems to be pretty awesome when he's indoor. And if that's the case, like the Lions are usually playing in a dome. I think they only have 3 games that are not in the dome this year. I can fact check. I think that's right. And, again, if he's making them at Ford Field, I guess that makes it even better because some kickers just can't kick in there for whatever reason. The next one would be the defenders. This was outdoor. He was 3 for 3. He made one for 51 and then a couple short ones, 22 and 40 yards. Back at home, missed from 51. Now back on the road, outside, missed from 39. So you can see the number. There's a little bit of disparity there seemingly when he's on the. It may not have nothing to do with anything. Could just be that's just what happened. The end of the season seemed to be a little bit rocky for him. That's probably why he pulled himself out of some of the MVP idea. Because then again against the Stallions, which again was outside, he was good from 39 and 44 and then missed from 53, like I said, the end of the game. Then in the playoffs game, he had the one that was blocked, again outside, and missed also one for 51 yards. But he started off on fire, though none of them were very long outside of the 53-yard kick. So just going off of this information, seems like he's pretty darn awesome indoor. And there's also the aspect of if he's doing it in a Ford Field, that gives me optimism. Plus, obviously, he has the length and they trust him to. I think that's a big aspect, okay, is having the confidence to ask the guy to do it. Because even if Badgley knocks through a 59-yarder in practice, do the Lions have the trust to put him out there to actually make that attempt? And with Bates, they clearly had the sense that we could put him out there. And like I said, James Turner, like my man D-Man just said, James Turner, we've heard he's made some long kicks as well. Kickers MVP candidates is insane. It's insane. I say like it's insane, but it's also kind of not based on how he began the season. Like that, if your first 3 games are you made from 64, made from 62, made 52, made 46, made 55, even if it's just like before half, right? There's not as much consequences. The game is on the line. That's still pretty darn incredible. I think, especially once they start comparing to the NFL and they're like, dang, that's actually really awesome. So I just think that's interesting. The numbers are strong. For his full season. My man said Jake Bates, long with 64, yes, 83.3%. So we'll see. All right. Clearly they have interest. Clearly other teams have interest. I don't have an issue with Badgley. I think there's limitations. James Turner sounds like he's doing some things that we didn't even see him do in college. So I'm interested in kind of seeing how that plays itself out. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they would bring this guy in. Seems like they have real interest. And I think it's just going to come down to, does he want to be here? Because I think multiple teams are going to bring in. One of those teams are the Packers. The Packers had drafted a kicker recently, Anders Carlson. And then they also signed a veteran, I believe, this offseason. Every team kind of just rolls through kickers. So what's next? Waterboy for MVP? Hey, he should have been the MVP. I mean, let's be real, though. He was cooking, okay? That dude was like, was he like Ray Lewis on another level? Absolutely. I mean, he would got thrown out of a few games. So maybe they're just like for politics, like, oh, that's not. To be honest, they probably told Bates he'd have to come in and beat out someone. Absolutely. See, okay, actually, that's not a bad point. That's not a bad point. Then you wonder, it's like, you wonder because maybe it could be more like opportunity driven, where we think of a guy like Matthew Betts, where he talked about the opportunity that he was going to get here, and reportedly he turned down guaranteed money elsewhere to come here. So it wasn't like a financial thing for him. Everybody's different, but he felt there was a role, there was an opportunity to potentially work himself into. Meanwhile, could it be that for him, or could it be saying, okay, I'm going to could it be the money? Because yeah, you're probably not going to allow a guarantee to a kicker anyway, but I don't know. So yeah, I think it's a good point. There's probably both of those things that play into it. Lions obviously have the money, but they don't want to just give him the money and then have him cut. Honestly, I would have an issue with it though. I mean, they have cap space. So if they wanted to throw some guarantees, and even if it was just like a 1-year deal, like if he was just getting 1-year offers elsewhere, throw some guarantees, make sure you bring him in. Okay. And then it's like, hey, if we cut him, we cut him. Yeah, we had to eat some guaranteed money, but it's a 1-year deal. So it's no problem long term. I wouldn't have an issue with that. The only thing that could hurt is potential rollover. Are all outdoor stadiums. Okay, I see with that. Hey, okay, Nate. That's a little something right there. I like that. I like that. Okay. Love the lives. Keep it up. People hit that like, but hey, I appreciate you, JT. Okay, let's dive into Ben Neiman. Chat. Hey, like I said, I got multiple things we're gonna do today. I just got to get through them pretty fast. Also, while we're doing that, I got to make sure it's uploaded. While we're doing that, I have 2 articles I found. Y'all can tell me. We can pick one. Maybe we can do both. We'll have to see how far we get. One of them, I found it. I haven't really read through these. I just found them. We can react to them. One is by NFL.com that says State of the 2024 Detroit Lions. This was posted today. Super Bowl window wide open after last season's breakthrough. So I was like, okay, that got my attention. Let me click on that, see what dude has to say. I don't know what it is. I'm just looking at the title right now. We can dive into that one. And then I also found one that was a little bit older, but I've seen these kind of things pop up. And I think in the past we react to stuff like this, where it's, I guess the thing is a roster ranking, strengths, weaknesses, and X factors for every starting lineup. So to see where the Lions rank, and then what they list as our strength, weaknesses, and X factors. We can dive in maybe both of those. We'll have to see how far we get. But I want to start with Ben Neiman because this is like a focus for the video. Did they waive Steele for Neiman? From my understanding, pretty much. Yeah, right. Now, the other aspect of this too would be the injury settlement for Craig James, which that hurt. I mean, that honestly hurt because Craig James, like it wasn't going to be likely that he was going to make the team. But Craig James did a lot of good with the Jets when he had his opportunity, specifically against Philly this past season. They won that football game. He did a lot of good. He showed inside, outside flexibility. They were a pretty heavy zone team in that game specifically. He was with the Jets playing against Philly. Yeah, I said that. I don't know. I may have said that backwards. He did really well. So he really intrigued me because especially his slot work, where it was like, okay, this, the Lions have found one with Khalil Dorsey. I think the depth is going to be really difficult, but it does stink to kind of see something like that in injury settlement. Jack Campbell is going to be fired this year at the mic. I mean, if he's spitting bars, he will. All right, that was trash. Okay. Now, I feel you, though. Year 2 jump. Hey, we might need to look into that. Is there statistics behind a year 2 jump at linebacker? I don't know, but everybody talks about tight ends. Like, oh, hey, they start slow. Quarterbacks, wait till year 3. Is there a linebacker jump year 2? I'm just saying. That might be a thing. Maybe it's not. Watching while working at the airport. Dose dedicated. No, hey, you dedicated, Daniel. You at the airport? Okay, I see you. Are you flying? Okay, let me now I gotta, hey, my man Broder's in the building. How you doing, Broder? Shout out to Dose of Dion. One of, if not, oh my goodness, you showing too much love, man. I saw you like the picture of the Rakestraw jersey though. Hey, come on now. That I'm fired up, dude. I want to wear it right now. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna share this. Now, I will warn y'all, the first couple clips are a little bit like kind of blurry. Okay. I mean, it's not terrible. You can see what's going on. They're just a little fuzzy because of the way that they were saved. But they're not all like that. It's only just it's just a few of them that kind of look weird. So just get past the first couple and then it will look normal. Okay. Let me also make sure I have my stuff closed here. That way this doesn't. All right. Let's put it right here. Okay. And we're gonna fly through this because, like I said, if we were doing this like a normal video, this thing would be extremely long. I don't want to make it like that. So let's do this. Okay. With all our cap space, hope you resign with Liam. I assume they will. I assume they will. Now they may wait till the end of the season, but I assume that they will, Brent. I would. I'm with you there. I absolutely would. Okay. Showing different plays. Most of it's going to be coverage, especially early here that I'm going to showcase because I'm going to read some numbers to you guys just to kind of give you a little background. Okay. He's number 50. Let me get it. I think it's 54. Maybe it was 56. Oh, it's 56. Number 56. Again, this is 2022 with Arizona. We saw him a lot this season. 485 total snaps on this season. However, 250 of those were in coverage. Okay. So I guess a majority were in coverage there. Yeah, that math is right. Statistically speaking, in this, he only had one missed tackle, which actually stood out to me. I think he had 44 total tackles, 45 tackles with one miss. That stuck out to me. That's huge. 19 run stops. But then you look at his coverage statistics, and even though the completion percentage is high here, it usually is. Same kind of thing with like slot corners, 28 of 34. 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, but only an 88.2 rating. Now, a lot of the success I think you see is in zone coverage, less in man coverage. I actually think there could be questions with how much he could actually do in man coverage. But zone coverage wise, this is what I'll say. This is the difference here, right? Steele Chambers is a smart player. He's a rookie, though. This player, you're going to see like the football intelligence, the understanding of coverage, how fast he plays in coverage, where athletically, he's not going to blow you away. Even if I just go through some of the testing numbers, just under 6'3", 235. That's kind of your typical build, for a linebacker. 4'7", 540. Nothing special there. 15 bench press reps. Nothing special. And when you look at him, he's not like rocked up. 15 bench press reps. 33.5-inch vertical. Okay. And a 701 3-cone. Maybe the best aspect of those kind of numbers there is the 3-cone. You see some short area quickness. So not going to blow you away with the way that he's built. And then again, he didn't do a lot of sub package work either. I already read that. Steele took a wrong angle on everything. Understood why we signed him. Okay, so let's start here. We're gonna start against the Vikings, of course, because we play the Vikings, and I get the sense that maybe sometimes these have something to do with it. Like you see him against the Vikings, though. We got to deal with that team. But it's little things like this. It's always the understanding. And one thing with Arizona that stuck out was the amount of second level. I want to say blitzing, but just bringing second level players because sometimes it's not a blitz, right? You drop someone out, you bring this case it would be a blitz. But sometimes it's not always technically a blitz, but it was like covering up different zones. It was working across the field. It was hiding coverage to drop at. He had some success as a blitzer, not a ton. I don't think I even put those clips in here. Some success as a blitzer. Didn't really have much of a go-to outside of just like running guys over, but he had a little bit of success there. Didn't really feel like he was a pass rush piece, but it felt like when they were using him on sub package, that was kind of his role. It was like, let's let him rush the quarterback or show you're going to blitz, drop out, because again, he's pretty successful in that area. So here we start against the Vikings. See the blitz, running back stays in the block, and you get a lot of this, especially like the cover 3 looks, things like this, where he's kind of floating over, taking away routes like this on the out route. And I start with this one just because you could visibly see where his impact is. So you see him right here on the play. All right, look at where Kirk Cousins wants to go over it now. His receiver kind of falls down, but he's forced to then go up to the second level, and he misses Justin Jefferson. Again, these first couple plays are a little bit blurry, so just stick with me. It'll get away from that. Here he is kind of working the tight end or the inside slot. You'll see that our guys, they pass it up to the safeties, and you can see there's a lot of control. There's really good body control for him, and it helps him a ton in coverage there. There's not a ton of false steps in coverage either, so he's really able to limit mistakes, and he's able to kind of close airspace pretty well. And as a tackler, as I said, he only missed one tackle. The issue he has as a tackler is he tackles high. He also doesn't have a lot of force when he hits people. There's leakage that can be given up, and he's not like a stopper when he hits somebody. But he's usually under control, wraps up pretty well, and he's a finisher in that way. He just tackles very high, which is kind of the issue. Is Detroit Tigers the most irritating team in baseball? Ask Broder, man. Hey, hey, Broder could probably give you a way better answer than I could. So continue. Let's go on to San Fran here. Obviously, we're going to see San Fran again, probably. Well, we will at the end of the season. Here on a little screen, and you'll see some of that control. It's the lateral control that he has, the stop, start in space, just like this. You get a lot of those kind of instances here against Philadelphia. Now, while you'll see him kind of jump like he's running this drag here, and you see him kind of jump and step in front of it, what you also like is that's anticipation. He doesn't show a lot of closing bursts, and I think this is where you get issues like, okay, how much can I really do with this dude in man coverage? But it's the anticipation that he plays with. It's the route development, just stepping in front of routes, working his way in front, being proactive, helps him, but he's still able to plant there and stick with the route even when it breaks off. It's a tight end, so it's not like your slot receiver. That would probably be more of an issue. But against tight ends over the middle of the field, look natural. Now we start to get into this stuff, right? We start to get into the communication. We start to get in route goes vertical, pass it off to the deep safeties. This looks like some quarters. And then I'm going to step back down right here, boom, underneath, take away Taysom Hill on the drag. You get a lot of the play speed. Okay, you get a lot of the play. Here again, another little drag. All right, circle him right here. Passing it off vertical. Boom. Handling levels concepts well. Dive underneath. Step in front of the route. A lot of stuff like that. He said, I got you. Hey, there you go. There you go. Okay, continuing. Let's get back to see now the clip's looking good, though. You see what I'm saying? This is what I like. Anytime the route gets behind a backer, when you just kind of feel like they have that sense of where the receiver still is, I love that, man. And I think those are like when Jack Campbell would do that, you saw it at Iowa. I love that. So here, I think this is Jennings actually pushing vertical here. You can see he's going to pass it off, but what he has a really good sense of, and I think this is what helps him play fast, especially with all the, because again, this is more zone coverage. This is cover 3 now. With all this zone coverage, it's also understanding the numbers game. And I'll show you a good example where he saves a play. He understands the numbers game. Like, okay, running back goes out here, does a little wheel route. I'm not the flat defender. That's taken away by the rolling down safety. I believe that was a safety on this play. I can drop back, stay here in my role, take away the stick route. And then he feels it behind him, kind of steps in front a little bit, but he doesn't play out of his zone. He doesn't, I'm going to keep following. He lets it pass off, lets his teammates take responsibility. Okay. And you'll see a lot of stuff like, here you go. This is a beautiful one. Watch this against Philly. Trips on the right side, pushing vertical, pass it off to the safety. Watch his vision here. Once it passes off, now he starts to angle himself, right, to cut that off. Uses his eye. He's always reading the quarterback. Route gets away from him. Uses his eye. Steps down here on A.J. Brown. Like that kind of stuff, man. That's where, like, you look at these coverage numbers, and it's the times that he's not targeted which stands out. Look at it's just a couple more. You got to pull this all together. Stuff like this, like here with the back, understanding responsibility, right? So the back breaks inside. As soon as the back breaks inside, Justin Herbert looks out wide, and he starts to work himself that direction. And you'll see the flexibility in the hips where he can get flat pretty well. Okay, not a ton of burst there, but he can get flat. I'm going to mix in some other examples too. Here again, communication, right? Especially in the red zone, you need this. Guys, one thing that I forgot to bring up, and this isn't specifically about Ben, what I think it was our last live stream, right? And we were talking about the Lions back end, I think, and we were talking about CD Deuce, those kind of things. But it was remembering how good the Lions were in the red zone towards the end of the season. Like their red zone defense was the difference. If you remember, it wasn't like their pass defense was good. It was that their red zone defense was good. Against the Rams, I don't think they scored a touchdown one time when they got it. I think they were over 3. That was massive. That was like a game changer, man. I mean, you had the communicators in the back end. The safeties were getting healthy. The linebackers, that put us on point. Jalen Reese-Maven was big time in that Rams game. You got to have guys that can step in and do those kind of things. Here we go. Boom. Pass it off. Drop back underneath. Stay here for the screen. Now, you're going to see some other issues that pop up through this rep, like getting off of blocks as quickly as you would like. Again, he's not really a stopper when he hits people. But you can see what I'm talking about. Will Deron Gilbert make this team? Tell you what, I'm curious to see how what role he plays with the Lions. Like, is he going to be more of a linebacker? Is the vision like, well, he could be like a sub package linebacker? I'm curious. Obviously, he's a little bit undersized for that. His role would be ball out on special teams, right? Because that's what most UDFAs are going to have to do. Ball out on special teams because linebacker room is so darn deep. And then potentially work yourself into a sub package role, I think, on defense. I think that would be probably his best shot. Because he handled himself well. They're just really obvious limitations. But if he's going to stay there, sub package down is probably going to be the best bet for him. But specifically, yeah, special teams, like carve out a role. And he's got the skill set to do it. He's going to be like Branch. Okay. Hey, look, I wouldn't be mad at it. I like Norris personally. I'm a big Norris guy. I'm more of a fan of him. I think that he's got some Brian Branch in him maybe. But hey, I'd be here for it. Branch going to play some safety, sounds like, which is, I mean, Branch can play anywhere. He's going to be good as long as he's on the field. Okay, continuing with some of this stuff. So here we go. Now we get him taking away flat coverage, right? And this is something he does really well. Working over traffic here, the angles that he takes in coverage, boom, lights it up. And he does a nice job where he doesn't have to get out there pre-snap. He can hide these things. And then it's really nice angles to the ball. You don't see him give up the corner a ton. That's Vaki comes to mind, right? He had an issue with that. Doesn't give up the corner very much, right? He does a really nice job playing on the edge there. Okay, and then here, this is Christian McCaffrey. Now, again, he's not sticking in his hip and man coverage, but it's that control where you get this angle route, he breaks himself down, and he's able to stay under control while staying on top of this route. And one thing that he does often is, while there's times I don't feel like he's always as aggressive enough as he needs to be to break on the football, take away the football, one thing that's there is that he constantly plays with good depth. So he doesn't really let things get behind him into the second level. That's a positive. Maybe that's also how you ask him to play. It feels like they went to Madden and they like backed it up. Like, yo, play at this depth. They just backed him up a little bit. I found Troy his first year. Loved the kid ever say, hey, my man. Just think Detroit Lions retired Aaron Donald. No, that's actually no, that's actually crazy. Hey, and go back, right? Look how things changed, bro. Hey, first time we played him, he beat us basically. Hits Goff, interception, we lose. Hey, I love Aaron Donald though. Hey, look at this. Another example of what I just said right here, right? Tight end goes up the seam, lets it pass off. Then look at him open his hips, stay in front of the route here on Higbee. Love those things. Look at the communication, man. Look at the discipline, though. I got a couple good examples of this one. Look at this one. So you're going to see the split zone look. Tight end comes through. He's going to – the understanding is huge here. Pass it off to the flat defender. Then he stays – see how he doesn't chase? Guys, I should have brought the example. This just came to mind, though. Derek Barnes last year against the Bears had a very similar example like this, and he took off. I think it was maybe it been the exact same kind of look. You get this beneath route, and I remember him taking off, and the quarterback, Fields, just took off on the play. And it was like, oh, why are you guys both running after the same guy? Hey, Barnes did his thing last year, but it just took some time. But this kind of, like, this is ready to play right now, man. Right, sees that split zone, points it out, and then look at the discipline because his eyes find the quarterback. His eyes find the quarterback. So now he sees that delay, sit there, and he's all over it. Where's the quarterback going to go? He basically just forced an incomplete pass. That's not going to show up on his stats. He forced an incomplete pass because usually the delay, the movement, things are happening fast. Guys are like, I got to get out there, and he's like, nah, I'm good. Let me find. I'm here. Love it. Love it, man. This is where the good things show up. This is where you see the good things in his game. Again, even here, a little bit of that passing off, that communication underneath, stepping on the route, passing off, running back comes out here, and then finding the quarterback. And you don't see that burst or that acceleration when you just watch him move around. Aaron Donald definitely should have been in the cover, man. That would have been fire. When is Goff going to get on the cover, though? That's my question. Is it after the MVP this year? Because I thought maybe they just do it before. I'm really excited to see UDFA, Isaiah Williams. Absolutely excited to see that. AD, even in year 10, was a monster. Disgusting. Best defense player I've ever seen, right? I don't know about like the Lawrence Taylors and stuff. I can hear the stories, but best defense player I've ever seen. No question, man. That dude's insane. Okay, again, let's see. They play a lot of cover 3 here, which makes it a little bit weird, even though we did that a lot in the past. But I just like the understanding where this route, cornerback sits on top of it, but then see how he's always reading the quarterback's eyes? Quarterback jumps back to the middle so he doesn't flow over there. He doesn't get out of the play, sits himself down, parks himself down. Now he's pursuing the football. So you get a nice little balance underneath. And I think that's what has him play fast. Here against the Vikings tight end. Best aspect of man, right here, footwork. Footwork at the top of the route. It's limited. Not a lot of false steps. Gets in his hips. Doesn't really take the football away or make a lot of plays on the football in those spots where it feels like you would love to see that. But he usually plays with the right control. We definitely need a cover linebacker. Do you see Campbell doing well in coverage? That's the area he needs to grow to me. I think last year he pulled a lot of things together as a run defender to end the season. There's still areas that need improvement, especially take on, but I think he improved a lot as the season went on as a run defender. I mean, he was racking up an insane amount of tackles every game. So that's the area that needs to like kind of come together, just natural feel, playing faster, kind of like what we're seeing right here with the vet. Jalen Reeves-Maybin to me is a very good coverage backer. I think again, like back to the Rams game, he showed that he was a game changer. As soon as he stepped in, it was like, yeah, don't put this guy on the bench anymore. This guy needs a role. He was huge there. So we have that, and obviously Duracell has been big time. You know, he's not the best athlete, but he's handled some man matchups against tight end. Doesn't always look pretty, but he usually gets the job done. And he in a way, I feel he's actually improved since he's gotten here because he was kind of he was known as a coverage guy before he got here, but he's rounded out his game with the Lions, right? He's really found a good spot with us. Here again against the tight end, you can see kind of that footwork. Nothing crazy on that play, but just kind of sticking with it. Now we get to this. Okay, boom. I love this. So you're going to see with the motion, Isaiah Simmons, instead of passing this off, he's going to work over top and he's going to take it. So everybody starts to slide. He sees Simmons take it. So right here, they start to work their way back and he's like, oh, snap. We're missing a number out here. There's 2 receivers on this side of the field. Cornerback's going to take it vertical. There's the back to worry about. So he sprints himself out there into the flat. He says, look, I'm taking this away. Now, the completion still happens, right? You have some kind of mix up on this side of the field with Isaiah Simmons and then, the cornerback. They're not really doing anything here. But on this flip side, he does run over here and takes away. And I think Herbert wanted to go over here. See him take away the wheel. I still like that. There's still an awareness to his game. Even when things are happening fast and kind of settle things down. Back to the backside discipline, right? You see the communication pre-snap. This is showing that quarterback of the defense quality. Quarterback of the defense pre-snap. Slide, take the back. We need a number over here. I'll take this back out of the backfield. I'll step over that. And then here's the discipline. Here's the discipline. Jet sweep. We're going to shift, but watch him here. See how he doesn't give out on this? So when the quarterback play fake sets, he doesn't drift back. He doesn't flow away from the ball. He still sees his target. He has vision, stays on top of it. And this discipline, watch what this does. See how he doesn't leave? He stays right here. And now all of a sudden, boom, he's right there. He would have lit him up. It's those things, man. It's that understanding that very clear. Now, this is where, like I said, not always jumping on these routes as well as you like to see, like taking these away, push vertical, now it breaks out. And you can see there's not that burst. So sometimes it's like, okay, maybe we need a little more projection in those spots. It's not bad. He's still in a spot where he's going to make the tackle. He's going to limit yards after catch, but he's not going to make a play on the ball. Now here against the slot, right? Allen Robinson, it looked like he had absolutely no shot here. I mean, there's just no chance here on it. And that makes sense, but there's just no chance here. A little bit of a beater on that play. I want to mix in some run defensive clips as well. I don't like him as much here, but obviously we know the league majority of time is now passing the football, so I thought I'd just show a few. Lawrence Taylor and Dick Butkus were the two most ferocious, violent players I've ever seen. Dang, okay. You know what? I don't think I've ever watched a Dick Butkus highlight. I've definitely seen Lawrence Taylor highlights. Maybe I need to do that. I'm gonna have to do a show where I just watch. All right, hey, look, week 1 is gonna be amazing. Rams do off. Hey, that's facts though. Hey, that's gonna be a battle. Hold up, I forgot about that. I didn't even thinking about it like that. I like that. And you'll see it like here's the polar. You'll see him visualize the polar, find the back, scrape down a line. What he does well to me is that he stays very square to the line. That's on take on, very square take on blocks. Like he squares himself up, squares his shoulders. The issue becomes he doesn't get off blocks really well. He doesn't really have much of an evade package where it's like he can be slippery and slide by blocks. I like him as like a will linebacker where he can get downhill, be aggressive, press the line of scrimmage, attack. Because even like here's the vision, right? You see him press up into this B gap right here. Boom. Presses up, reads the polar off the backside. See him kind of scrape down the line square. Boom. And he's on the play. I like him playing downhill. He doesn't always have that closing burst, but that's how I like him playing because you'll see him at times, right? Even though he squares up into blocks like that, where he'll just get kind of moved out of the play. He can't get off the block. It just continues down the field. I thought Philly gave him some problems with that. You'll see a lot of examples like that where it could be an issue. Here, okay, what play was this one? Oh, okay, this is just kind of the angles, right? So watch the angle here. Here's that jet sweep. Okay, it's a handoff on this one, but you'll see the angle. He's not the fastest, but right here, look at his hips. You see how he starts to open up his hips? Now he's going to get on top of it, and then he has this range as a tackler with the reach, the finish. There's that, all right? Not the best athlete, but he does carry some range as a tackler. A couple more plays here. There's the play fake. Gerald Everett leaks out. He sniffs that out, takes it away. Now here he is on the play, and he's wrap up tackling. You know, he's very least going to let players get there with him on the play. Gets off blocks a little bit slow, but you see the tackling technique is extremely consistent. He breaks down. He doesn't just fly by tackles. He's not looking for the big hit, and that's a pretty consistent. You see, like right here, isn't that patience? That patience to just kind of let it kind of work instead of diving right here, knowing he can't get there, knowing his strength, allowing himself to just kind of work into the right angle, and make the play. That's what you see. So you're not going to get a lot of missed tackles, and he's usually going to get his hands on somebody. Here's some of that patience. Boom. He just usually tackles high. And then here, this was actually one of his best examples of stack and shed, but watch the lack of force right here. Boom. So squares up, squares his shoulders, bam, stack, shed, and then he gets driven back. And I think they actually scored a touchdown on that play. Doesn't drop his weight like that. Here against Philly, you could see not really much of an evade package. Right, even on here where he's not super slow at getting out on this play or right, dealing. I think this was a stretch. He's not super slow at getting out here. Just doesn't have much of a way to beat this offensive lineman. A good movement though, by the way, by that offensive lineman. I mean, I'll give him that. But he shows the discipline here again. Kelsey kind of gets up to him second level. He's just walled out of the play. That stuff does happen too much. So the positive is it's a different skill set than say a guy like Derek Barnes. Very different skill set. But you can see the clear negatives within his game. His clear athletic limitations. I'm not even sure why I put that clip in there. We have two more left. I don't even know what that was. This is where I like him, though. Playing off the backside, pursuing the play, being aggressive downhill right here, shooting gaps. I like him in those spots because if he gets behind the line of scrimmage. Now, you will see him like a phone booth because he's so tall and he plays so tall, he can get shook. That does an issue as well. It doesn't happen a ton, but it can. But he also doesn't constantly play as a downhill player. And I think some of that is just because of the lack of length and take on ability. But even in a play like this, so like this, right? Here's one of his missed tackles against the drag. See how he doesn't close, pass it off. He finds it. And then he just kind of like hesitates. It's like, bro, close on the play. And he doesn't close. So yeah, overall, man, like the signing is different. It's different. It's a player that can play right now, and he played well in 2022. So, no matter what you look, he played really well in 2022. So I think it's just a really deep room. But if the Lions want to make room for a surprise player, maybe. I wouldn't say he's twitchy. No, I wouldn't say so. He's not really explosive either. I would just say he's a little bit quick. He's got some quickness to him, and he doesn't have a lot of false steps, so he's able to maintain that. He's got some quickness though. There is some short area quickness, which does help him. And you will see that just kind of changing directions laterally is pretty good as well. There's some flexibility there, but I wouldn't call him twitchy. No, I wouldn't do that. But you just wonder because it's like, okay, if he's playing in sub package, how much man responsibility can I give him? There were some plays I didn't show where it looked fine. Like he carried guys vertical. He didn't do too bad in that area. Through multiple breaks, he does get a little bit grabby. All right, that does pop up too. He gets a little bit handsy in those spots. So I don't know how versatile he can be in those spots. Tight ends, I think he'd probably be fine. Same thing with running back, especially working on the backfield. But definitely legit in zone coverage. Anyone see the trailer for Receiver starring St. Brown? I did not watch it. I saw that it dropped, though. Right before I got on here, I saw that the trailer dropped. Okay, so those are the two things that I really wanted to hit on. But now we have a little bit of time. Let me see what else I had written down. So I want to touch on that. We hit on Jake Bates, Steele Chambers. We touched on that. Bam. Rookie class is signed. Bam. Solid special teams. I wonder about special teams, though, because he could be a reliable tackler, which will help him. It will help him. And I think you see flashes of the feistiness. The issue that I have is I don't know that he has the speed to be a consistent playmaker. And with Arizona, I didn't see him used on special teams. Now, I probably should look deeper into other years. Maybe he was more of a special teams piece. It's very possible, and maybe he was successful. I really do wonder about his special teams upside. Personally, I think his strength is FBI. Don't know about his special teams upside as a consistent playmaker, though. But if that is something that he's done well in the past, then take back what I just said right here, because that would be his easiest spot on. Pittman replacement. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Now, Pittman was useful on special teams. So to your point, like that's where you got to add some of that value if you're going to be that guy for us. But Pittman was a smart backer. Pittman was smart, and he played in multiple spots. Like if you remember, he played on the line, he played off the line. This is a guy that's played on the line of scrimmage, had success there too. Again, not a big pass rusher. Like you're not going to put him out there and expect a ton as a pass rusher, but he's shown the ability to play on the line at times, kind of move around, play different positions. So just like a smart backup, I'll give you that. Okay, so we hit on that. We hit on a lot of the main things I want to hit on. Let's go a little bit longer here, though, and I want to react to some of these articles, man. I don't know if you guys have seen these yet, but I just want to throw them on the screen and just see what they said, because we haven't done one of these in a while. Hey, I appreciate you, Josh. We haven't done this in a while. So the first one we have is NFL.com. All right, where's whoa, should I do this? Hold up, new feature. Okay, StreamYard. Wait. Nah, we'll go like this. We'll be basic. I think if I do that, I can't. Do you think we will sign anyone else to make a trade? I would say yes. I would bet on it. I would even bet on a trade, just knowing Brad Holmes. But I would say it's more likely that there's not a trade this year, just because we've already given up draft capital through trades, specifically the Carlton Davis one, and in the draft. So I would say it's more likely that they don't acquire a player via trade. And I don't know that there's many guys that they could actually move off of and get picks back outside of Levi. I think they want to keep Levi, but he would be like the one that makes sense there. So signing someone else, absolutely, that will happen. I almost guarantee it will happen at some point, probably multiple. But maybe at least one veteran, yes. I mean, think we did with Denzel Mims, right? He didn't make the team, but we did it. So he was a vet, but just he wasn't actually someone that was like a lock to make it. So yeah, something will happen. Absolutely. All right, I want to see what this is, because y'all see the title, State of the Lions. Let's see if we agree or disagree. Amari Cooper is available. Hey, I don't see him doing something like that. The Khalif Raymond video kind of explained like why I don't, but Amari's a dog, dude. I don't got any issue with it. Amari's a dog. I think the Browns, why would the Browns do? I'm just like trying to think from a Browns. Hey, Elijah Moore did some work last year. I don't know if the Browns would be willing, because Cedric Tillman didn't give him much. Like he's the dude for him. He misses some time, but he's their dude. Yo, what's up, Giovanni? So he ranked the team? Wait, he ranked him? Hold up. Where did we rank at? Though? Packers, Vikings. Oh, okay. Wait, hold up. I want to see the rankings now. We got okay. Maybe not. Maybe this is, wait a minute. Let's just go to the Lions thing. John Mechie. I'm not mad at Mechie. Yeah, I think he's possible, because he's just kind of like out of a role there. I'm keeping my eyes on Robert Woods. I'm still doing that. I'm still keeping my eyes on Robert Woods. It just seems like it would make sense. It wouldn't cost a lot. It would fit so well financially for the Lions too, and would give Goff a guy that like he has trust with. If they had any trust questions, Charles, you just said it. Robert Woods for a 6. That would be the guy I go after. Is Robert Woods. Because even last year, I think it was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year, but he still like did some work, and he's like consistent, Mr. First Down, big spots, throw the ball to that guy. So I would look at Robert Woods. That would be the guy. I'm usually wrong with trades though. Okay, so they list our brain trust. Below is a rundown of the roster developments. Okay, I don't think this is. We don't need to go through this. New faces to know. Yeah, Carlton, DJ. Hey, hold up, DJ Reader. Okay, we see you. Quarterback, most important non-quarterback, St. Brown. That makes sense, especially now. Especially now, you got to be that dude. I mean, you could say Jamo, maybe. Okay, my hottest Lions fantasy take. Ooh, okay, I like this. Hey, hold up. No, I'm playing. Hey, we're doing a fantasy draft though. Next week on a mock draft on Bleacher Report. Y'all know I'm historically garbage at fantasy. I'm garbage, dog. So y'all need to tune into that because if you want to roast me while making picks, feel free. I'm not mad at it. I can take it. All right. But because we're going to be, y'all should tune in, man. And maybe y'all can help me out. Maybe you can be like, hold up. I pick in 2 spots because I think there's only be 4 of us. So I don't know if like we're getting multiple teams or what. Or maybe we're just doing like this guy goes here. I don't know if we even have a specific team. I don't know exactly how it's going to go down. But if y'all want to like, because here's my concern. I'm going to pick somebody that makes no sense and I'm going to get killed for it, man. I'm going to take a dude. They're like, oh, weird. I was doing mock drafts a couple days ago just kind of get a sense. And when I would draft somebody, when I would get that response where it was like, oh, man, he was going to go round 7. I'm like, round 7? And I would take him like round 2. Like, I don't know the value. Or maybe I do know the value. Maybe I'm ahead. Maybe I had everybody else. Everybody else don't know the value. Because I will say, when I spoke to a fantasy guy that I'm a good friend, fantasy guy, he asked me about players, and I was like, yo, I go with Laporta, dog. I go with Laporta. I don't think I said as much about Gibbs, and I'm pretty sure he did well too. But I was like, go with Laporta, and he cooked. So that one actually did hit. Okay, what do we got? 3 key dates: Rams, Packers, Bears. Makes sense. Probably because of division style. I don't think Packers would be as good though. Just draft Devon Achane. That's actually nasty. I've never even thought of that. Where does he go? Devon Achane will be nasty. I like dude from Baltimore. Oh, they just got Henry though. He could be like their number 2 though. If guy's healthy, Keaton Mitchell. Green was my late round wide receiver mock 2 years ago. Wait, Green. Antoine Green? Robert Woods, my first choice too. See, there you go. He might get released. All right. For the Lions to be a success, they must win the Super Bowl. Yo, what? What are we? Hey, what has happened? Dog, what has happened, bro? We're talking about Super Bowl. Okay, make a playoff run, earn a playoff berth. This is about 500 each. So these are the grades. So if we don't win a Super Bowl, we get a B. They knocked off the Chiefs to open the campaign, won 2 playoff games. I saw someone yesterday say they won a playoff game. Like, no, we won 2 of them things. Don't sell it short because it was Tampa. That was a good game. They had the momentum. We took it right back like Dan said would happen. The last one, 1991. Yep, it was a long time ago. We don't need to talk about that. And don't mention that the Lions are about to go on such a run. My point is Detroit's Super Bowl window is wide up right now. Time to get after it. All right, I rock with this article. Not a ton of surprises here, but I rock with that. Antoine Green. That could be interesting now. I could see that. I don't know that I'll draft. I don't know how many rounds we're doing, though. Jed, let me know. Is it Antoine Green like an insane draft pick if I took him at the end? Like if that was my last pick. Say I had a last pick in the draft. Would that be crazy? Okay, we should have won 3. No, we should have won 3. We should have won 4 to be real. We would have won 4 if we would have won 3. But yeah. Okay, this is what I'm excited about. PFF, strength, weaknesses, X factors for every starting lineup. Let's do this. Where do y'all think we rank? If you've already seen this, all right, you can still comment, but just don't make it clear that you've already seen it. Maybe lie the first time. Be like, oh, 28. I don't know, man. Hey, let's do this. I'm fired up. Here we go. Number 1, San Fran. No, wrong, incorrect. Let's see. They put San Fran at 1, 3 players. Now, hey, I'm assuming they're going to keep all the receivers because they know this is win now. I know what? I'm not mad at this. I think long-term, they got questions. I'm not mad at it, though. Lions at 7. Haven't seen it. 3rd. Okay. Terrible fantasy pick. All right. I will not make that pick then. Actually, I might just do it just for for my guy. Hey, if you're in the chat, I'll take it. This year can probably steal Garrett Wilson, maybe. Ooh, okay. I like that. Draft Saint Gibbs Laporta. I was gonna make Gibbs my first round pick. Don't let it out there, but I was really gonna do that. And then overall, yeah, if I get Laporta, hey, let me know Gibbs or Laporta first in fantasy. Who goes first? Who should you take first? Gibbs or Laporta? So they go San Fran 1. I get it. 49ers are stacked with offense weaponry. Yeah, I get that. And then they added to it. They didn't even mention the rookies, which is crazy. Biggest weakness, pass pro. Yeah, their offense line's kind of trash. They added Pooney though. Improved pass protection, true drop back situations. Yeah, it's kind of really the entire left guard over was kind of trash. Gibbs first. Okay. X Factor is Hufanga. That makes sense because of the injury, I guess. Is that the X Factor though? Hufanga? Like that's the difference for him. I mean, is because we cooked him like offensively. Yo, we could have put like 50 points that game. Like just completely side note, we could have probably scored 50 against them. If we would have like caught the ball a couple times and we don't fumble, we could have dropped 50 in that game. Third round pick Dominic Pooney. Yeah, there you go. That's a dog. Over under 11.5. I'm gonna go under. Chat. They're going over. All right. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it is a loaded lineup. This entire offensive line though is very questionable. Very questionable. Honestly, their interior defensive line's pretty terrible too. Like Javon Hargrave was there last year, right? Wasn't he there? Or no, was he? Is Javon Hargrave a new addition? Because that would be my X factor. Interior defensive line was really rough last year for them. And then cornerback honestly still needs work too, I would say. But when healthy, it's not bad. Yeah, it's a good team. All right. Their center, St. Brown first, second Bijan, third running back, fourth Goff. Oh, okay. Giovanni just broke it down. He did a 4-round mock. Malik Neighbors is going to be a steal. Hopefully, if Daniel Jones does his part. Yep, that's. I know Marvin Harrison goes high, so I'm worried about Malik, man, because I see what you're saying. It's like that's the one guy. I just don't trust Daniel Jones. I think that's where everybody's at. Kansas City Chiefs, biggest strength, Mahomes. Honestly, though, they have a good coach. Mahomes, okay, that makes sense. Tackles, weaknesses. They got the same tackles. They drafted dude out of BYU, right? Oh, Kingsley. Yeah, and I like Kingsley, but I don't know if he's going to help him right now. X Factor, Rashee Rice. Is he even going to play? Have they made a decision on that? I don't know. Rookie to watch, Xavier Worthy, absolutely. Over an 11.5. I would probably bet that too. I mean, if it's the Chiefs, just bet over. You can't go wrong there. They're very questionable in the interior too when Chris Jones isn't there, but if he is there, they're fine. We didn't play against Chris, which was, I thought, massive. Dang, Nick Bolton had a pretty low grade. Cornerback, they lost L'Jarius, but they've got it done with all those guys on the field. Josh Williams has been huge, right? Wasn't he a 7th-round pick? I can remember when we Fayetteville State. He's been huge for them. But yeah, that tackle play, especially if Kingsley's starting, I don't know. Hey, by the way, side note, I was watching us play the Bears. Keep an eye on that because, we're going to light up. I mean, look, Braxton Jones has been good, but we were kind of lighting him up with anybody with physicality. I'm really – when that matchup comes around, early matchup to watch, Lions-Bears, Marcus Davenport versus Braxton Jones. I think he's going to light him up, dude. I got to find that matchup historically and see if they've went at it because I don't know. I think he's going to go crazy. Against him. All right, Philly, offensive line, biggest strength. Okay, but they lost a couple key. I feel like Philly's too high. See, no, actually, here's the hard thing with Philly, though, because I feel like it's all coaching. Dude, okay, I don't know if y'all saw this. I saw the thing where they were talking about how Philadelphia, right, their coordinator, or they're like new offense. And people were upset, like, oh, man, it's going to hurts. But their offense was a disaster last season, bro. It was a disaster last season. They had like the least schemed offense of all time. I mean, that was horrible to watch. They need to change that darn offense. That thing needs to change completely. That to me, that was not like, yo, and we can just run this back year 2, watch it be better. It's not going to be better. You had zero creativity. That's the biggest issue I have is I think Philly got a lot better with their coaches. And then, biggest weakness is coverage, but that's just because they're young. CD Deuce back there is huge. He'll probably miss some time, but he's huge. Cam Jurgens makes sense. Yeah, kicking him inside. Over 10.5. Wow. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad because I think Dallas probably takes a step back. I mean, can I zoom in a little further too? I want to make sure y'all can see. Oh, wow. Okay, just went down. Let me do that. Booker on the Bears a dog. I know I hate that. I had the where'd he go to college? Slipping my mind right now. I had one of his games recently. We had to do it, and you're just watching Booker. You're like, dang, this guy's good. It's questions against the run, but he's good. He's good, man. Weren't they running like a high school offense scheme? I mean, that's what it looked like. It was there was no motion, there was no movement. It was bad. I watch Matthew Best films. It's crazy. Hopefully it I mean, his get off is nuts. My man KV Alto with the 5 gifted memberships. What? Hey, yo. There's 3 things you can rely on. I don't know the other 2, but KV Alto giving some memberships is one of them. My man. Hey, I appreciate you, KV Alto, showing tons of love, man. Hey, that's that dude right there. Can we get some birthday cakes in the chat for KV Alto? It's good to see you, man. Your DJ Reader breakdown was fire. Hey, I appreciate it. I was fired up to do that one. It was Charles. Charles, weren't you the one that asked for that? Charles, I think you were. I think I remembered after it was Charles that asked for that. I got you, man. There you go. I think it was you. What's up, though? What up, Jordy? Isaac Guarder. I don't know how to say that. I know who you're talking about. Is a stud. Who did he go to? Minnesota? Where did he go? Let's freaking go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. KV Alto's a legend, man. All right, let's get to you. I got to get moving. Jets pass defense. Okay. Biggest strength makes tons of sense. Offense. Yo, the Jets are too high. What are we talking about? Malachi Corey. I love Malachi Corey. This is too high. Hey, yo, no, that's yeah, I'm sorry. He only played like 4 snaps. I saw that grade and I was like, yo, is that Packers grade? Honestly, it probably wasn't much better. This is too high. I like Izzy, as they call him. It's not a bad roster. It's just like, this isn't going to be healthy. This ain't going to be healthy. I like that they took the lineman in hindsight. You just know this ain't going to be healthy, man. Javon Kinlaw isn't a good addition for. I don't think that does much for him. It's weird. I love Kinlaw coming out of the draft. Shout out to the birthday cakes in the chat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I guess I can't hate it too much because on paper it's good. It's good on paper. I mean, especially their defense. Can't question that. They get it done. I think they're going to be a playoff team this year. But as we all know, are they healthy? As the year goes on, it could fall back a little bit. And they got a lot of primetime games early. Baltimore ground game, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Biggest weakness receiver, Andrew Voorhees. He's coming off of the injury, right? Has he played yet? I don't even know if he's played yet. Yeah, Stash Wild. I don't think he's played. Tez Walker can get vertical though, and Lamar can throw the ball deep. I mean, he's had flashes of it. So Tez Walker will help there. 11.5 under. That's a high over under, bro. 11.5. Jen, are we a worse roster than the Ravens? Quarterback, even. No, I would take Goff though. Derrick Henry, okay. I'm not mad at it. They have nice running back room. They do. They make it work with whoever's there. Wide receiver, ours is better. Well, I'll say this. St. Brown's the best receiver. But in fairness, J-Mo has to prove it. Bateman's very questionable. Here's the thing. Forget it's a 61 grade. But I tried to talk myself into Bateman because it makes so much sense as a trade candidate. I just couldn't fall in love with the guy. There's things that you like. I couldn't. So I think Bateman's extremely questionable, even when he's on the field. Offensive line. It's not bad, but okay. Defensive line, yeah, that's pretty good. That's going to be good. They're a little bit older, but that's good. They got Chop Robinson. Is that? Yeah, Chop Robinson. Yeah, that was the Ravens pick. They're going to be a problem on defense. They're going to be a legit problem. Nate Wiggins now added. Nate Wiggins doesn't even feel like a Raven, but he can cover. That's going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem on defense. They're going to be a problem. Brandon Stevens played well last year. They needed Nate Wiggins. Wow, I'm actually looking at this. They really needed him. They lost who played really well this season, their free agent corner. But is this a better roster than the Lions? I would say our receiver room's better, but not by a lot because they're still unproven there. Tight end room, if anything, it's similar. If not, ours is better. We can go similar. Mark Andrews is a dog, but Laporte is insane too. Offensive line, probably us based on what we've seen so far. Running back, again, man, I'd go Lions here, but I don't think it's if healthy, it's probably similar. Defensive line, I think ours is better, dude. Justin Matabike is an animal, though. I would say Matabike is the best from what we've seen so far, but DJ Reader plus Aleem, similar. Edge rushers, always been questionable, right? I think there's question about him sticking around. Dog, there's actually a lot of similarities between these rosters. I feel like they got Roquan. Obviously, we got our big-time linebacker, which we needed for the scheme. Cornerback play. Theirs is about, is Humphreys going to be healthy? Ours is about young guys. Same thing kind of with them, Nate Wiggins. But they have elite safety play. So I think at best, if he kind of looks like Kyle sometimes, and Kirby kind of looks like Marcus sometimes, there's a lot of similarities, dog. We got to be next. Okay, there we go. There's so many similarities. We got to be next. If you could pick one player to take a leap this year, who'd you pick? You say Kirby Joseph? If I could take one player, I would take Campbell. Campbell feels like the right choice for me. I think Campbell probably has a massive season. And then it gives them flexibility because then they can figure out what they're going to do with Alex long term. But I would say Campbell. I think Campbell does. J-Mo's got the opportunity to do it, but I think Campbell's just going to play really well. Other guy would be Colby Sorstel in this sense. So we heard him talk about being versatile. Colby Sorstel, yes, versatile player. He played some tackle last year. That's what I'm keeping my eye on, especially in camp. Like, who's playing at tackle for us? Who's playing backup tackle? We know they cross-train guys. And is he much improved there? Because the Lions are kind of banking on Dan Skipper right now, and then someone being able to slide into that spot, unless they go sign one. So really keep an eye on Colby Sorstel. Baltimore is placing elite DC with an unknown commodity. That's true. That's true. Because who's the best DC in football? Aaron Glenn. I don't know. I say they're all different. I think the Vikings got a really good defense coordinator. He changed that defense with not much difference in terms of playmakers. All right, biggest strength, offense. Dude, our whole offense is listed with the strength. Ravens was run game. Our entire offense, dog. Offensive line is also a major strength. Pretty good. Biggest weakness, outside corner. See, this is all rookies and Carlton Davis. But Carlton's the starter. You know what's funny? So I was watching our playoff game, and if you watch it back with the commentary, they point out how often like teams just don't throw to Carlton. Everybody thinks he's the best corner. Teams just don't throw that way. All right, I got to wrap this thing up. X Factor JMO makes sense. Rookies who watch the corners, over 10.5. Good choice there. Lions winning 13 at least. Yeah, hey, we're going to end this thing up, man. I got to get out of here. I got to head out. I appreciate y'all joining. If you are joining now, go back. We broke down Ben Neiman. We talked about Jake Bates, went through some numbers there, and then we rolled through some articles, not funny, but just articles here. But man, I'm sorry I have to dip out so abruptly, but I got to get out of here because I'm going to be late for something if I don't, and it's kind of a drive. So I appreciate y'all joining. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all again soon. We'll probably do another live here soon. I want to do that. And then next video up, I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Been working towards a couple different ones, but I just got to figure it out because it's kind of a weird spot with like homework and stuff right now. But anyways, appreciate y'all joining, man. Great rest of your day. We out, and I'll see y'all again soon.